Welcome to my backyard garden. Beginning of June, and it's time to put my tomatoes out into the garden. First thing I'm going to do, I marked off where I'm going to put each of my tomatoes. I spaced my tomatoes 10 inches apart. I have room for 11 tomatoes going across here. I have my big beef variety, which is called Jetstar, and over here I've got pear and cherry tomatoes. I'm going to pick the largest one of my pear and cherry because I only need one of each plant. And I'm going to pick the 9 best, tallest, most robust big beef tomatoes and put them in the ground. Okay, so this is where my first tomato is going to go. I have two options. I can dig a deep hole or I can dig a trench. I don't want to dig a deep hole. I'm just going to dig a trench, and I'm going to dig the trench diagonally. The reason why I'm going to do that is I'm going to get as much of this stem down into that ground as possible, because everywhere this stem is buried, it's going to develop roots, and it's going to develop a great root system if I do this trench like that. All right, so what I need to do is I'm just going to go underneath this. I don't want to go any more than halfway because I don't want to interfere with my lettuce, but I've got to get a pretty good trench down here. Now, the tomato, when I put my rack up, the rack's going to come about here across the garden. So this is where I want my tomato to come out of the ground. And I want to get this down pretty good. That's about 4 inches right there, 4 or 5 inches. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my cherry tomato, squeeze the cup so it all comes out just like that. And I'm going to lay this down here. Now, everything that's going to be buried, I'm going to take these leaves out. This one too. Now, you might say this is going to look bad because it's laying down. And what's going to happen is I'm going to bury this, and then this plant will turn up to the sunlight. So I'm just going to bury it. Oops. One thing I forgot. Don't want to forget this. So let's just dig this out a little bit more. This. Now, it's not black pepper, obviously. This is blended eggshells. I've crushed and blended these in a blender, and this is going to be a source of calcium so that I don't have to worry about blossom end rot. Blossom end rot is caused in peppers and tomatoes by a lack of calcium. So I'm going to sprinkle this out. The reason I do that with the blender is because it breaks it down for the plants. That should be enough. Now I'm going to cover this up. And that's where I want my plant. Right here. Everything that's covered up by dirt is going to have roots. Okay, now the next thing is dried blood. I'm going to sprinkle this down here. Oops, that's a lot. Maybe a lot, maybe not. So I'm going to sprinkle that down, spread it out a little bit over the top of the roots. Because what will happen is, as you water that and it rains, that'll soak down and dissolve into the ground and help, and that's a good source of nitrogen, which will help with the leaf system, the leaves, nice dark leaves. And I want to do that. I have the option of using Miracle-Gro and spray it on. I want to do that. I'll just do this and leave it at that. Okay, let's do that again. All right, so this is where I want my tomato. I'm going to go about 45 degrees, dig a trench halfway to whatever I'm interplanting. Look how good that soil is. I've been building this soil for years. All right, this is one of my pear tomatoes. Squeeze it around a little bit, give it a little pull. See how good the roots are. Filled them up, filled up the cup. Now, I'm going to put eggshells in there first. that in there. Take the leaves off. Just want to be careful. You don't want to break the stem, damage the stem any, or pull that out. I'm going to take this one off too. Okay. Cover that up. Build this side up a little bit to help get it a little up in the air. A little dried blood. That around a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's it. 9 more to go. Got to get my big beef in there, and then fence this thing off to keep the bunnies out of it. Hey, hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, give it a like. Share it with your friends. Leave your comments and questions below. Subscribe to my channel if you would. Pound that bell to get notifications of my future videos. Back soon with more stuff. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.